this episode of Buck and Life, my friend Todd and I from Trail 89 Adventures are going to be exploring an area of the Gila River, which is located near Florence, Arizona. We'll find remnants of the old Cochran Ghost town and check out a train trestle which is still active today. We'll travel through some amazingly picturesque desert and make our way through a forest of massive saguaro which have withstood the test of time. We'll encounter a few small obstacles along the way and even encounter an unexpected surprise. Come join us as we explore the Gila River Loop. I'm AJ, and welcome back to Buck and Life Off-Road. Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm AJ, this is Buck and Life Off-Road. Today I'm going to be exploring an area called the Gila River Loop. I'm actually waiting for my buddy Todd, who I texted impromptu on the way here to see if he wanted to join, and turns out he wasn't doing anything, so he's on his way. I originally was going to run this trail yesterday, but I couldn't get my butt out of bed. So I'm excited to run this one, especially with a friend. So we'll wait for Todd and we'll get this adventure going. Now, as I was waiting for Todd to arrive, I started walking around and exploring this staging area. Now, when it comes to staging areas, most of them are pretty bland and unimpressive. But this one actually had a little bit of uniqueness to it. It was almost surrounded completely by large boulders that had small paths in between that you could walk through and explore. Not far from the staging area, there was a massive collection of rock formations and boulders strewn about. Not accessible from the staging area itself, but just up the road you can take a path that will take you down into this area. I even noticed a few camping spots surrounded by boulders that you could camp at if you wanted to feel secluded but not be too far out. And you can access this area just off the main road. Now, even though this is just a staging area, it's definitely more unique than most that I've seen. Ah, and here comes Todd right there. Speak of the devil. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, bud?
Great to see you, bud.
Look at that beautiful
How are you?
Bronco. You
Dude,
got it all backed up into the rock.
This thing looks too clean, bro. We gotta get some dirt on it.
I'm telling you, it's been parked in the garage for a bit.
Well, all right, Todd and I did some chatting, and we're ready to roll. Todd's gonna lead from the beginning, and let's get this adventure underway, shall we? Todd and I are scooting along. We are coming up onto a train trestle here pretty soon, and that was one of the first stops I wanted to check out, so we'll be there momentarily.
We go a little slower through here. I don't want to take a head on with a side-by-side.
I don't know how many times I've almost done that. Now, so far this route has been pretty much wash. I know it's going to change in a little bit once we get up past the trestle, but it's been pretty easy going so far.
Now, from what I saw throughout the day, this trail is a popular side-by-side route. About 90% of all the vehicles we saw out there that day were all side-by-sides, so just be aware. After ascending this small incline, we would come to our first stop of the day, ruins of an old stone cabin. You can also see the train trestle in the background as you ascend the hill.
Okay, well, you can see the trestle right there. There's some people climbing down off the top of it. A little silly in my opinion, but right before the trestle we have this old dilapidated structure. Isn't much left to it, but it's definitely something cool to stop and take a peek at. I will try to find out what this structure used to be. If not, we'll just chalk it up as an old stone house.
After a little bit of research, I found out that this old stone structure was actually part of an old ghost town named Cochran. Now, Cochran was founded in the year 1905, even before Arizona was even a state. But the town didn't last long, as it was quickly abandoned by 1915. Now, there isn't much left besides the structure that you see here and a set of large coke ovens across the Gila River, but they are situated on private property.
Get some pretty great views out here so far. Nice little area. Easy to get to. Pretty much no difficulty at all. See the people up on the bridge right there? I mean, not very safe, but I used to do stuff like that when I was younger too. Not anymore.
There's another trail that comes back the other side. And I tried coming down that trail the last time I was here, and I ended up getting a little bit down it, and I turned around because I was by myself, and I was like, nah, a little sketchy for where I'm at, but
yeah.
I don't know if you want to try that a little bit later. We can go check it out. But it comes all the way back down, almost to the other side of where the train tunnel comes out of the mountain on the other side.
We would end up taking that trail that Todd suggested later on in the day, but for now, it was time to head down and check out the trestle.
As much as Todd and I would thoroughly enjoy walking down this trestle into that tunnel, it is posted quite abundantly, private property, no trespassing, so we will refrain from doing so. I was telling Todd earlier that this is almost an exact replica of one I used to jump off of when I was a kid up in New Hampshire into the river. This one's a little bit higher, but looks the same.
Checking out the trestle was great, but it was time to move on to our next destination. We were moving on to a small beachy area that was situated right on the Gila River. The trestle area itself was really beautiful, but you can see just how dusty it was.
Well, alright, we are pressing on from the railroad trestle. There were just a slew of side-by-sides that kept showing up, making it dusty and making a bunch of noise, so we decided to continue on. Pretty cool little spot though.
This little ledge is the first obstacle of any kind you'll come across on this trail. It's really easy, but it was better than just the sandy washes we had been in previously.
Eating a lot of Todd's dust today. That's okay though. This sand is just like fine powder, and it just, man, it just floats everywhere. Get some mother cows and some baby cows on the trail. They don't seem to want to move. That's okay. Hi guys. Hello. Hello. Aren't you a cutie? You. Boy, it took a while for that mother cow to instruct her calf to get out of your way.
She was not happy.
No, they still aren't.
They're still yelling.
They're yelling at us. Don't worry, cows, we're friendly. A nice little part of the river here.
The water was low today, but on heavy flow days, you can see it can come right up to where our vehicles were sitting. I imagine this spot could be a pretty decent riverside camping area. That is, of course, provided that you get permission from the cows first.
Alright, so that was a nice little spot on the Gila River right there with some moo cows and a little bit of water flowing. We are progressing on, and we'll see what comes up next. Got a nice little baby rocky ledge to climb. Not going to be difficult, but you know, it makes the trail a lot more fun. Getting to at least climb something instead of running a wash all day. Well, I asked Todd if he wanted to play King of the Mountain. He wasn't having it. What an enjoyable day, though. Especially when you got a buddy to come out with, which, you know, you guys know I'm solo more often than not, so sometimes it's nice to have someone out with you, especially another YouTuber. You guys can, you know, get creative and film all day and give each other ideas, you know, so it makes it fun.
Making our way to an area known as South Butte. The terrain in this area changed from soft sand to hard pack and quite rocky. The rockiness of the terrain made travel just a little bit slower, but with that, it gave you the opportunity to enjoy a lot of the surrounding vegetation, including sagebrush, cholla, and extremely large saguaro. Extremely old and tall saguaro are ubiquitous in this area, and as you travel through, they loom over you like watchers of the desert. As I travel through areas like this, I often get the feeling of stepping into a time capsule and envision wandering this land as it's been for centuries. After enjoying South Butte, we pushed on to our next point of interest. It was an offshoot trail that runs parallel with the Gila River and heads down to the opposite side of the railroad tunnel where we were previously in the day. The composition of the trail changed once again back to sand, but it would change yet again once we hit the offshoot. We were about to encounter more rock and plenty of brush. The views of this offshoot were pretty outstanding the entire way. We were running parallel with the Gila River, and even though you can't see them here, the railroad tracks were just across the other side.
So Todd wanted to take me down this off spur that goes down by the river again. He said that last time he came out here, he didn't go all the way because he was by himself and he was kind of new at that point. But you can see lots of evidence of fire out here. Lots of burned and down trees. But it does look like it's come springing back with some force. So it looks pretty good out here. Well, Todd officially took me to a dead end. I think he's gonna murder me now. There isn't much out here.
You're not going any further than this.
No. No. We're gonna have to do a kind of an up the slope 3-point turn or so, but that's cool. I've done tighter than this before. Nice views out here though.
I got a good view of the train tracks down here.
Now on the other side of this mountain right here is the train trestle that we were at earlier, and you can see down there are the railroad tracks. No shortage of views, but it is in fact a dead end. Like I said, we're gonna have to back up that little area right there and then swing out again, head back the way we came. Not a big deal, but at least I get to lead now. No more eating dust. Got a helicopter flying around out here. I don't know what that's for, but that's neat to see. We were on the other side of that mountain before. Now we're on this side, and you can see the trestle way off in the distance there. Beautiful views for sure. Well, that little area didn't turn out to be much, but we did get some pretty fantastic views, and we did get to see that chopper flying by, which is the first time that's ever happened to me out in the desert. So the portion of the trail that we're on now is called south of Gila River. Todd's never been on this part of the trail. He took a different route out the last time, so we figured we'd give it a shot. It is pretty brushy and pretty tight in a lot of areas, but you know, no difficulty to it. Just some soft washy sand and a bunch of twists and turns, but that's really about it so far. But we'll see if we can find anything else that's interesting on this portion of the trail before we hit the end. Just spotted a couple javelina scampering across the trail. Don't see those too often. That makes 3 that I've seen so far in the wild out on the trails. right, time to assess the damage from Brushy Bill over there. Let's see, you know, these are standard Arizona pinstripes. Doesn't look like I got anything too rash on this side. Check out this side over here. Well, this side looks a hell of a lot worse, but you know, I can tell you right now that's nothing bad. That's all standard pinstriping. Oh look, a straggler. What a fun adventure today. All right, well, we reached Florence Kelvin Highway. Pavement means the end of the adventure, as usual. And you know, it gives me a little frown sometimes, but it is what it is. We had a great day out here today. Todd, what did you think of the run today, bud?
Man, I appreciate you texting me this morning, AJ, and be like, hey, what are you doing today? And I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm just sitting here and having a cup of coffee, and you know, I'm still drinking the same coffee. So
it was so last minute. I didn't think he was gonna come. But
hey, I told you a million times. I like trying to plan out stuff for me is almost impossible. So catch me in the last minute, and I'm ready to go. But it was super fun. You know, we came out a different way than we came in, and that part of the trail was awesome. So,
well, that was new to both of us too.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing was new to me, but you've been out here before.
Yeah. You know, we were talking on the radio, like some of the state trust land, the trails are underrated, I think, and there's so much scenery out here, and the pristineness of this desert and the saguaros that are out here, it's just super cool, man. So
just remember, people, you don't have to go over super extravagant rock obstacles and climb ledges all day to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Just, it's all about the adventure and what you see on the way.
We had some little climbs, but nothing crazy. It added a little bit of excitement to it.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
No, man, I appreciate you getting a hold of me today and coming out. And I told my wife I'm going out to play.
I hope she didn't get mad at you.
No, she was proud.
All right, good deal. All right, well, again, thanks to Todd for coming out with me. Make sure you check out his channel, Trail 89 Adventures. He's got a lot more videos than I do, and he makes great content, so make sure you check it out. And once again, thanks for joining me on Bucking Life. We'll see you in the next one. Not for nothing, you'd be done now if you had a quad hose system.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's on my list. It's coming.
I have to pick on him a little bit, you know.